Hey, what's up there, YouTubers? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer 55551. Excuse me. And I am back with a video review. And for this review, we're going to be taking a look at Rune Factory 4 Special for the Nintendo Switch. Game is also available on the Nintendo 3DS, although it's basically the 3DS version, not the special edition or anything like that. And if you're interested in any gameplay footage of me playing Rune Factory 4 Special, I'll have a link down in the description down below. When it comes to farming games or anything like that, it never really clicked with me at the time, though. I mean, we've had farming games like, whether it's Farm Simulation to Harvest Moon, which premiered back in 1996 for the Super Nintendo and has also made the way onto other platforms as well, to even the most popular one, Stardew Valley, which really has taken off and has become very successful for a lot of people. But Rune Factory was a series that, I mean, I never really got into until I played the original, like, Nintendo 3DS one, and it was definitely a interesting and fun game. It was a mixture of both farm simulation and, of course, you know, a traditional action RPG in a way, and it was quite fun. And I thought it was a very interesting game back then when it came over to the Nintendo 3DS. So it was kind of interesting to hear how they were porting the 3DS game over to the Nintendo Switch. Not to mention, we know that Rune Factory 5 is going to happen, and they're going to bring that over to the Switch. Although, as of right now, we haven't seen anything of how Rune Factory 5 looks. And while Rune Factory 4, in a way, kind of feels like nothing more than a 3DS port, it is still an enjoyable game nevertheless. It was a fun game when it came out on, on the original 3DS, and it's still a fun game even on the Nintendo Switch. So why don't we get started with our pros and cons, and we'll start off first with the pros. And the first one I do want to talk about, and there are only really two pros I could think of, is the gameplay. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the gameplay is sort of a mixture of both farming, action RPG, and the dating part. The farming part is where basically you use to not only raise monsters, but also grow your crops, whether it could be turnips, spinach, or flowers, or anything like that. You gotta take care of, like, your field, ranging from dealing with any of the weed that's on the field to any of the stones or branches over there. You also have to, you know, water your plants, harvest the field, and so forth. So there's a lot of the farming part, along with, you can also do fishing as well. But the game also lets you go and do a lot of the action RPGs, which is basically, you know, fight enemies, complete some of the dungeons in the games, fight, you know, the bosses in there. So, and of course, there's the whole dating part where basically you try to woo a certain character. Of course, you could choose to play as a male or female character, whichever one you choose, though. So it basically has a lot of mixture of certain things in it, and actually it's kind of fun. It's a really good, I really like the idea that they did with Rune Factory 4, though. It kind of made me wish, why didn't I get into the Rune Factory series in the beginning in the first place? So I will say, as far as the gameplay goes, the gameplay is actually good. And last but not least, though, I do kind of like this approach, what they're doing with Rune Factory 4, though, is that it's really a go at your own pace or anything like that. You don't have like a time limit or anything like that. You could choose to like spend the day, you know, like doing requests in the game to get your friendship up, trying to date someone, focus on farming, or do any of the dungeons and all that. So it really is a go at your own pace kind of approach type of a game, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. You don't feel like you're stressed that you have to do this or you have to do that right away or anything like that. So it's really nice that this game allows you to really go at your own pace, how you want to approach things and so forth, and not really put pressure on you or anything like that. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to get to part 2, which is the cons. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our video review of Rune Factory 4 Special for the Nintendo Switch. So now that I gave you the pros, we're gonna go. Why don't I give you the cons? And they're really like the pros. There are only 2 cons I could think of. And the first one we'll start with is basically the visuals. Now, when the game originally came out on the Nintendo 3DS, the visuals looked like what they were, and they weren't bad or anything like that. On the Switch, I mean, they're not exactly going to win any awards or anything like that. I mean, basically the visuals are basically an upscale version of what it looked like on the Nintendo 3DS. I mean, it's not awful looking, but let's just say don't expect it to be blown away with the visuals like you would with other games like, say, Super Mario Odyssey or Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild or anything like that. So, I mean, this was a 3DS game after all. So the visuals are just, I mean, it's basically, like I said, it's basically basically they cleaned up the 3DS version. So, not bad, but nothing really to write home about. The visuals aren't really like the best look. It's not terrible looking, but it's not the best looking game out there. And last but not least, there are basically 2 addition modes that they added to the game, which is kind of nice, which is Newlywed mode and another episode and all, which ironically another episode you have to unlock through DLCs and all that stuff. And I think the other mode is after you marry a certain character and all. I haven't got into that mode yet. But outside of that, it's basically the same game as it was on the Nintendo 3DS. It doesn't feel like there were any like a extra dungeon or something like that. So it's basically this. It's like I said, it's basically the same game, which, I mean, great if you never played the game or anything like that, but if you own the 3DS version, unless another episode or Newlywed mode in any way interests you, it might be a tough sell for those to pick up the Nintendo Switch version, since it's basically the same game on the Nintendo 3DS. Overall, I will say Rune Factory 4 is special. It still is a fun game. I like the whole idea of the mixture of the farming, action RPG, and dating, and of course the fact that the game encourages you to go at your own pace is certainly a nice thing. I mean, of course, visually it's not the greatest looking game out there, but not terrible. Like I said, feels like it's just an upscale version. The visuals just basically look like an upscale version of the Nintendo 3DS, and there's really isn't, outside of another episode Newlywed mode, if you're expecting maybe another dungeon or something like that, as far as I'm aware of, it's not really there. It's basically the same game as it was when it originally came out for the Nintendo 3DS. But at the same time, it's not terrible either. It still is an enjoyable game, and I am enjoying it nevertheless. Plus, it's something to keep you occupied as we wait for Rune Factory 5. Hopefully, it will come out this year, and hopefully we'll get some more information about it. But until then, if you missed it out on the 3DS or anything like that, then I would say give Rune Factory 4 Special a try, though. Like I said, I like the whole dating, farming, and action RPG element in it, though, and hopefully you guys enjoy it as much as I did as well. Okay, this concludes my video review of Rune Factory 4 Special for the Nintendo Switch. And again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about Rune Factory 4 on the Nintendo Switch? Do you think it's a good game? Do you think it was worth marvelous to bring this game over to the Nintendo Switch? Or do you think it would be, or do you think they shouldn't have bring it to the Nintendo Switch after all, and we just wait for Rune Factory 5? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off on the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And if you like this video, I hope you hit the like button, and I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications of any new videos I put up. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You could do it through PayPal Me or Patreon. Links will be in the description down below. And I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Until then, from Southern California, wish you all a good day then. Bye!